times.
I got to get that light out of here. Maybe I should put a background up.
So don't overthink it. It's your first foray into show business. Just relax and go with it.
Yeah, you're right. Don't be that guy.
All right,
Virtual
ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Today is November 7th. My name is Chris Hankin, joined as always by my co-host Pat Colicchio. We have a friend of the program joining us today, Adam Marso. Am I saying that right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Adam?
Sir. How
There
you
he
doing,
is.
guys? Thanks for having me. Big fan.
Good, man.
Pleasure.
Welcome.
We here?
Welcome. We're
Oh,
here.
yeah.
We're here.
All right.
We're ready to roll.
We're live, baby.
Today, yes, like I said, today, November 7th. Been a pretty quiet morning. Nothing really newsworthy or crazy has happened in the world. Anything good for you guys going on?
Only one big contest of red versus blue today, and that is Maryland Penn State, my friend.
Nice.
Exactly.
Nicely done.
Very, very, very well done. Yeah, big day today. Let's crack a beer. Not a political show, but congratulations to Joe Biden.
You had that
Kamala
queued
Harris.
up for hours, didn't you?
You're damn right. I was ready. I was ready and waiting. But we are here to talk about Penn State. Penn State plays Maryland today. Obviously not a great start to the year, 0-2. I think today's the day. That we find our way. We get a big win. We dominate. I hope. Before we get into the actual show, how are you guys feeling in general? Pat, how are you feeling about today, the game, life? What's going on?
I'm feeling good. I honestly don't know what to make of Maryland. They looked like hapless in the first game against Northwestern, who I don't think is like that good. And then their offense looked incredible against Minnesota. Does Minnesota just have the worst defense of all time? Does Maryland have the worst defense of all time as well? Because they've let up like 90 points through 2 games. I don't know what to make of this team. The one thing that worries me is the worst part, and what looks like to be the worst part of their defense is also the worst part of our offense, and that's the run game. So this is an interesting matchup to me. Not to mention we're 0-2 and a 25-point favorite, which has got to be one of the first times, and like that's got to be record breaking.
Right. It probably is. Adam, how you feeling, man?
I don't know. Honestly, I could give a shit about. Am I allowed to swear? I don't know what that is.
Fuck you. Fuck shit. Fuck yeah.
I don't give a shit about Maryland, to be honest with you. It comes down to what Penn State team is going to come out today. That's what we've been waiting to see. We know that we had really high expectations this year for the blue and white. Obviously, we haven't seen it. Yeah, it's a tough start, but this is a wake up call for Penn State. If we're going to be good and competitive this year, we have to dominate this game. So,
yeah, completely agree. So, Pat, like you mentioned, Maryland comes out. They are 1-1. Got absolutely shellacked by Northwestern in week 1, 43-3. And then they pull off an overtime victory against Minnesota last week when Minnesota missed an extra point, 45-44. We were just talking before we started this. If you did the whole wheel of relativity for the Big Ten, it just doesn't make sense. Like right now, Michigan State, who beat Michigan, is getting killed by Iowa, who has lost many times. And Indiana is beating Michigan, and I can't make sense of the Big Ten. I don't know what's happening. I don't know who's good. I don't know who's bad.
Ohio State. That's the only thing I know. Ohio State.
Ohio State's good.
Ohio State's good. Confirmed.
One thing remains the same.
Good. Yep, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I agree. I think this is the game that we have to come out and dominate. This is an inferior opponent. We are 27-point favorites, I think it's up to. Got to dominate. So let's jump into it. We have 3 people watching. Oh, 5 people watching. Shout out to 5 people watching.
Look at that. Hi, Mom.
There's a live chat on YouTube, so feel free to submit some questions, chat with us. I'll try to keep my eye on that and answer live. But let's jump into some game stuff. So, Pat, what to watch for in this game today?
It's got to be the running game. I already kind of mentioned it. It has not been – I mean, our best runner's been Sean Clifford, I think. Maryland's run defense looks horrendous. I think they've let up 200-plus rush yards in both of their games. Even Minnesota, who is I would consider a pass-heavy offense, I think they only threw the ball 12 times against Maryland.
Yeah.
So, if we can actually establish a run game and dominate there, I don't think Maryland has even a chance here.
Yeah, they did. They let up, I think it was almost 300 against Northwestern, and then high 200s against Minnesota. So if we're looking at the run game, Devin Ford obviously should be the guy. What do you expect though? Do you think Ford has a breakout game, or do you think you see some of Kevon Lee and Keziah Holmes as well?
That I do not know. I think they're going to give Devin Ford a chance to prove himself, and if he can't break out in this game, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, he had a couple of nice runs in the Ohio State game. It's
Yeah.
tough to get anything going against them.
But I'm saying as a feature back.
Right, exactly. And we've seen a lot of people like on Twitter kind of very quickly, like Devin Fort's not the guy, get Kevon Lee in there, get Keziah Holmes in there, which it's exciting to have young freshmen, but like give the kid a chance. So
yeah, I mean,
I was saying the
those are
same
also
thing about them.
right.
Yeah.
Those are also the same people who thought Miles Sanders wasn't good. Those Penn Live people that we've been spoiled with Saquon and Miles and good running backs and
Yep.
Yeah, he's not Journey Brown, but you got to give him some reps there. So.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Adam, what are you watching for in this game? What are you keying on? What are you looking at?
I'm going to go on the defensive side of the ball. I'm looking at our secondary. Speaking from experience as a former freshman high school corner, it's got to be better. I think I actually tweeted out last game after a couple beers in me. At what point does blown coverage just become bad defense? We had so many times I'm asking where's Castro Fields? I know Joey Porter Jr. got a little banged up, but I mean, TCF in general has got to wake up and be that leader of that secondary that we've been waiting on. Just in my opinion, they've been mediocre as a unit. So yeah, we need them to wake up. Joey Porter Jr. can step up, and along with the supporting cast, our secondary needs to be better. That's the main point. But
yeah, I completely agree. I'm typing back. We have someone who said that they are looking for the show but can't find it, so making sure we are live.
I'm with Adam on the secondary, but my bigger concern's been the safeties personally. You've seen some big plays from Lamont Wade, but overall, I have not been a big fan of his play. And like the other two, between Jair Brown and Jaquan Brisker, I've been looking for Jaquan Brisker on the back of milk cartons. I've heard I've heard so little of his name. And he was my guy coming into the season. I thought he was going to lead the team in interceptions. I'm still a big fan of his, but we need a more out of these safeties.
Yeah, I agree. I think
especially last game. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I was going to say this is a team with Maryland where we got Tua Jr. in there. What's his name? Tagovailoa. Looked good throwing the ball last week, but I don't think he's anything special. I think it's 3 touchdowns to 4 interceptions on the year. If our secondary can't take advantage of a young quarterback who I don't think is amazing, that's problematic.
Is it Tulia or Tulia?
Tallulah.
I don't know.
Julia with a T.
Well, it's T-A-U. I think it's T-A-U.
Sounds like a $7 hooker.
I'm not going to touch that one.
You would know, buddy.
Some cool runnings.
I know exactly what it's from. I'm not going to touch it. Shout out to Michael Robinson is in the chat right now. Not the Michael Robinson.
No, it is.
A Michael Robinson.
Friend of the podcast.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
Michael.
We had Parker Washington week 1, so I don't
That's
see
true.
why Michael Robinson wouldn't be here.
That's true. This guy Mike who
Right.
tweets us on Twitter. That's where people tweet. This is just Michael Robinson's burner. We now figured it out. So Michael, thank you for joining. Really big fan of yours.
It's the perfect crime naming your burner account after your real name.
No one would expect.
No one will get it.
No one would ever expect it.
Okay, my one
man.
to watch for similar to yours, Pat, but actually not just the running game. Mine in general is finding our offensive identity. The last couple of games, we don't really know what we are. We're young at wide receiver. We're inexperienced. We finally see Jahan break out last week. We see Parker Washington do some good things. I'm really looking forward to seeing kind of how Shiraka dials this up against, again, a team that he should be able to run all over. He should be able to run Devin Ford and the crew for 250 plus easy. But does he use that to then build some trust, build some confidence, let Cliff find out what he's good at and not just continuously run himself? And I think he will. I think that's the purpose of a game like this for an offensive coordinator is get your guys comfortable, figure out kind of where you stand. But I want to see Cliff be better. I bashed Cliff a little bit in our last recap. I love that guy. He is my guy. But it was a little tough to see last week, him constantly bailing on the pocket, not really trusting the offensive line. So this is a game where, Adam, you said it's a start. If we want to be competitive this year, it's got to start now. I think that's what the offensive identity. Find out who you are as an offense, be able to control and dominate a game, and then build on that throughout the rest of the season. Obviously, we're not going to a college football playoff or maybe even a New Year's Six at this point. But in a weird year where everything is wonky, find out who you are, dominate the teams you're supposed to dominate, and get over the early losses. So that's what I'm looking for. Very excited for it. Let's move into the don't be surprised if. So this is bold predictions. I as I go through these, it's like I realize there's only like a couple things to predict every week. I'm like, all right, am I going to go something offense, something defense, or something special teams? It's like the same shit. So I try to get a little creative. But Adam, you're the guest. We'll let you start here. What's your bold prediction? Don't be surprised.
All right, my don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Pat Fryermuth wakes up today. All right,
love it.
Obviously, they haven't had the connection. Him and Cliff haven't had the connection that we've grown accustomed to last year. He caught, where my stat? I'm a stat guy. 7 for 60 against Indiana, only 3 for 46 against Ohio State. He's got to get back on track. He's got to become, one of the main targets of this offense, and it's got to start today. He's got to take some pressure off Dotson, who apparently doesn't matter who's covering that guy. He can catch anything. but 87's got to wake up, especially after opting out and then coming back in. He's got to have a game that's going to put him back on the tape, for NFL GMs. Because after the Cotton Bowl, he was a no-brainer. He was getting drafted. But the way he started this season, he's got to get back to what we're used to seeing. And like I said, it starts with Clifford becoming comfortable in that pocket again, and a lot of things going into it. But 87, you got to start targeting him more, and just he can catch anything. He's like a mini Gesicki, so he's just got to be given the opportunity. So don't be surprised if he wakes up today, gets in the end zone.
Love it. Love it. As a Pat Fry stan, I will say he never officially opted out. He made that very clear. Those are rumors. Those are fake news. He never opted out. He was with us the whole time. But yeah, we talked about this in the recap last week. There were a couple of times where Cliff was looking for him in that Ohio State game, and they had him covered. Like, it had to be perfect throws. It wasn't happening. I mean, they had a game plan to shut him down.
Yep.
Which is why Dotson was able to do what he did. But yeah, I agree. This is, and I personally still think he's tight end one. Like, Kyle Pitts is more of a receiver to me, and he's kind of showing that. So I still think Pat Fry is surefire first rounder. But like you said, wake up, put some back into the minds of the NFL guys.
Leave no doubt. Leave no doubt is what he needs.
Yeah. So. Yes, exactly. So let's go to the chat. Michael Robinson, friend of the program, and shout out Kevin Baker is also on here. Hey, Kev. Michael Robinson says, I'm one of the fools you referenced who wants more carries for Lee. In the insanely small sample size, he seems to find/hit the hole well, keeps his feet moving and falls forward. I agree with that.
I don't have a problem with more carries for Lee.
Zach Zwinek?
I've liked it a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with it at all. That's kind of Noah Kane-esque, it sounds. A guy who's just a kind of a hard downhill runner. And I think you're going to see that. But back to our point on the run game, like, I want to see Devin Ford given a chance. This kid was a very high rated prospect, big time talent. Like, I think he can still be that guy. Pat, what's your don't be surprised if?
Don't be surprised if Kirk Shiraka really tries to run up the score in this one. I mean, first of all, we've started the season 0-2. Our coaches are going to want a statement win. They don't care if we win 100-0 in this game. They're not taking their foot off the gas pedal. Also, I think you made a good point in trying to find our offensive identity. I think Shiraka is going to keep the playbook open, like, to see what we're good at, try and get Sean Clifford as many reps, get him as comfortable as possible. I don't think this is going to be if we're up, we just start running the ball kind of scenario.
Yeah, I hope so. I think this is the time to do that, right? Like, and we talked about this too, is, that drive after halftime with Ohio State came out firing. I mean, it was quick throws. It was move the ball, get chunk yardage, something we hadn't really seen before. So I want to see that constantly. And like, I think Franklin's the kind of guy who, if we're up like 40-0, he's not going to be bombing it out. But I agree with you where this has to be a statement game, and it won't just be hey, just run out the clock. So hopefully a little bit more than we're normally seeing. Pat is leaving us. Pat, thanks for joining. It's been a ton of fun.
The classic Chico no pants Saturday for Chico. Gotta love it.
We're live. We're live on YouTube right now, and you're just in your underwear.
Well, not anymore. We're getting censored now.
I was gonna say, are you trying to get us kicked off? For anyone watching, I apologize.
God.
This is my direct apology to you, the 4 or 5 people.
Forgot about that.
Just had to see that. If we get banned,
see the fact I wasn't wearing pants.
Oh God.
If we get banned from YouTube, blame Pat.
I just got a cough drop. I'm sorry.
Don't be surprised if you see Pat without his pants today. Already happened. Okay, that was
nobody who really knows me would be surprised about that.
Right. No, that was Pat with no pants was the heavy favorite coming in. So.
All right, my don't be surprised if we talked about it before. Talked about the secondary and the safeties. My don't be surprised is if you see more rotation in the defense. Not in the beginning of the game. Obviously, you're going to let your starters run this up, but hopefully we have a sizable lead going into halftime, which is something we've been accustomed to against inferior teams in the past, and you get to see some of those younger guys play. So when we talk about the safeties, we talk about how Lamont hasn't looked great at times. Brisker hasn't looked great at times. I don't think Franklin and Pryor are the kind of guy who is going to take them out of the starter role unless something goes like catastrophically bad. But I think this is a time where if you're up big at halftime, you can kind of use that as an excuse to say, okay, let's get some of these other guys in, see what we have with them, and kind of let them develop. So I think you're going to see more of Jair Brown, Sutherland, maybe even Rudolph and Gordon in the second half, where let's see what we have in those guys, right? I mean, both Brisker and Wade are gone after this year anyway. You kind of have to find who's next and who's going to be your starters back there. I think at corner, we have plenty of young talent. We kind of know what the situation is there with Joey Porter, Keaton Ellis, Marquise Wilson, Hardy. They've been trying to get into that star role. So I think I'm more comfortable there. Safety is just such a question mark to me. So don't be surprised if you see some young safeties in this game, trying some things out, figuring out who's next in line for either later this season or early next year. Yeah. This is going to be a short show, guys. I always say we're going to do a short show. This one might actually be a short show.
We've been getting quicker.
I mean, this one too is just there's not a whole lot to talk about. It's like, hey, we've lost some games. We think we're going to win this one. That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so let's get to final predictions.
In order to
Yep. Final prediction. So Penn State is a 27-point favorite. Pat, I honestly do want to look that up. Like, what's the largest favorite a winless team has ever been? Because this has got to be it. Over-under is up at 64.5 last I checked. So let's take a look, see if it changed. 64.5. That's a lot of fucking points. Adam, guest of honor, what do you got for a official prediction?
As an over guy, I hate what I'm about to say. I don't think this over has any chance. I think you hammer the under 64.5. I got 64.5. Only in the fact that like Maryland hasn't scored on Penn State in 50 years. That's roughly. Check that stat out. I think that adds up.
52, I think.
Yeah. I think that Shaka and company really make little Tua uncomfortable today. I think our defense gets a touchdown. I think Cliff throws for 3, rushes for 1. Ford gets in the end zone. We win 42-6. We cover the spread, but the under hits.
Love it. 42-6. So they are sticking to field goals. Fuck you, Maryland. Love the defensive touchdown. That's we don't have one this year, do we? Defensive, right?
No.
Not that I remember.
Let's get that. You know what? Let's get 2 of those today. I like that. All right. I as part of the overs community, I feel your pain in you saying that out loud, and I appreciate you being vulnerable in this space. It's tough to do.
I'm not happy about it.
Michael Robinson in the chat said, I heard rumblings about an injury to Porter this week. I know he missed a play. I'd rather forget after getting banged up, but I thought he returned and was at full speed. He was. I
couldn't find anything last night on it. Yeah, I looked it up when I was writing notes. I didn't want to sound like the asshole who doesn't know shit. So I did look up Joey Porter Jr. injury and nothing popped up. So hopefully Google didn't lie to me.
Yeah, I mean, it looked ugly when he went down. I know he was like getting kind of help off the field, a little bit of a limp, but he was back in the game because he got beat for a touchdown later on, which I believe is the play that Michael Robinson is referring to.
No, that was when he was out and Marquise Wilson got beat for the touchdown.
Well, no, Joey got beat in the end zone when he came back in later on. Because Marquise Wilson got beat on the deep ball down the sideline, but there was one when they were either in the red zone or closer to the red zone, and it was like a back corner fade.
No, that was before.
Or a corner route. I could be wrong, but I think
that was earlier
right.
in the game.
A lot of guys got beat in the end zone last game. It's hard to keep track.
Fair enough. I mean, he's the depth chart. He's still number 1. Franklin's not going to change that kind of stuff unless it's something serious. So, yeah, I didn't see anything, but hopefully he's out there. I'm a big Joey Porter fan. I think he's going to be a big part of this defense for a long time here. Pat, what do you got for prediction?
All right. I'm obviously taking the under. Colicchio Classic.
Classic.
I'm taking Penn State to win, clearly, but until we win a game, I'm not taking us as 27.5-point favorites. I got Penn State winning 38-17.
38-17. So you are actually having Maryland cover this game.
Yes.
Okay, Adam, how would you like to be the new full-time host of this show? That has been fun having you.
Yeah, take a lap, Pat.
We are don't take
Take a
a lap.
lap, dude.
You don't have pants on. Don't take a lap. Okay, no, this is so as always, I had a prediction. I had a score that I was going to go with, but I'm going to alter it based on the facts that have been presented to me so far. Initially, I was going 52-9. I think we're going to score a shit ton of points, but 52-9 puts us just under that 64. And I can't have an episode of this podcast where nobody takes the over. So I'm going to say it's 57-9. I don't know how we get to 57, but let them score 3 field goals.
Figure it out.
57-9. Over cashes. We feel good about things. We feel like there's hope. There's positivity in the world. Not for anything else that happened today, just for Penn State football, right?
Pat
here's
literally
what
just
I
pulled
say.
it.
I am not confident in my pick. There was a part of me that thinks Penn State's going to score like 60 points.
Yeah, it's well. There's
But
part of me too that like
I can't take an 0-2 team that's a 27.5 point favorite. It just
I saw somebody on Twitter today predicted us to win 34-31. I was like, if that's the case, I'm gonna have.
There's no way.
God, we're in trouble.
I'm sorry,
I can't deal with that.
I don't see us giving up 31 points. You're telling me Northwestern holds them to 3 and we give up 31?
Right. If we give up 31, then we'll stop playing. Rest of it. Exactly. I'll call James Franklin and say, listen, it's not in the cards this year.
Done.
Jeez, pack it up.
Man. Yeah, no, I think, I do think this is a game where we score a lot. I think, like you mentioned, I think the defense is going to eat. I think the front seven is going to play really well. You're going to see maybe this is Curtis Jacobs' time. You get to see him in the second half, some more Lance Dixon.
Lance Dixon did not look good against Ohio State, though.
Yeah, our friend Brandon had a lot of gripes about the way the linebackers were used with having, I forget, our bigger linebacker was out in coverage where the smaller one was in the box. I can't remember it was like Smith and Dixon. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I think you'll see some of those. Question from the chat. Shout out Kevin Baker, good friend. Do you think the Pinegar struggles will cause us to be more aggressive with going for it on 4th down? So Pinegar misses 2 in Indiana, right? Did he have any misses in Ohio State?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, but it was.
Didn't he drain a long one?
That was Stout, I believe. Stout hit the 50-yarder right before.
That was Stout. Okay.
Right before halftime when Fields took the knee and there was a second left.
Pinegar hit the first field goal though, right?
Yeah, but it's a confidence thing. I was shocked in the Ohio State game when we went for it on that 4th early on and missed it. So it's not very Franklin-esque, but I kind of think so. I don't know if it's necessarily Pinegar struggles, but I think it's more of what have we got to lose at this point?
Like, exactly.
If you're in plus territory, fuck it.
I mean, I could see it in like a situation where it's not the not like the stout length of like the 50-yarder for like like a 35-yarder, and it's like 4th and 1, 4th and 2. I could see James Franklin going for it because he's not totally confident in Pinegar right now.
Which is such a tough thing too. Go ahead, Adam.
I just think of it more like it's like when I'm watching Nebraska versus Ohio State and they have 4th and 2, whatever. Why not go for it? You know what I mean? We're 0-2. Like if we win, awesome, which we're gonna win this game. But like at this point, why not roll the dice a little bit? You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's anything to do with Pinegar. I just think you just are a little more risky. You know what I mean? Like we're 0-2. Let's make a move. Let's wake somebody up. You know?
Yeah, we've talked about this a couple times. So Adam, I'm actually curious to your take on this. I'm not a big fan of having the 2 kickers and having, if it's under 50, Pinegar kicks, if it's 50 plus Stout kicks. For me, Stout has shown he can hit everything. Like this is not a knock on Pinegar, but I'd rather just have him be the guy because this too, like you mentioned, if it's 4th and 2, we don't have anything to lose. Just go for it. Even if it's not against Pinegar, even if Franklin is like, hey, I have confidence in you, but we're going to go for it. That fucks with his head too. Pinegar's like, all right, well, I hear what you're saying, coach, but I don't believe you, So I don't know. What's your take on the 2 kickers and having different distances for them?
Yeah, I think you have to have one guy. If you can hit from 50 plus, you think he can hit from inside 40. Like, I don't think it should matter. I think Pinegar he's a full ride guy, is he not?
Yeah.
So that's probably why both guys are full scholarship. So I guess, I don't know. You don't want to look stupid by getting rid of Pinegar, but yeah, I mean, you got to have one kicker. Name one NFL team that has that type of system. Yeah, like it just doesn't happen. So they don't bring Greg the leg out for 60 plus and then bring in, suck up
Joe Schmo.
Like exactly. So
yeah. Yeah, I think so. Stout is a transfer. This
I think
might
you gotta
be
have one
his
guy.
last year. I don't know actually. What's Stout?
Yeah,
Is
he
he,
transferred from VT.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at what
Is he
his
Virginia Tech? Okay.
eligibility is. So Stout
Did
is
he-
a
did he
redshirt
only
junior.
kick- Did he only kick 50 plus at Virginia Tech, or was he all in?
I think he only
I don't
did
know. Yeah, I think that's why he
Kickoff?
transferred to us. And I mean, he's a kickoff Jesus. Like he touched back every single time, which I love. But he's a redshirt junior, so if this year 4 for
Yeah.
him, he technically, if he wants to go to the NFL, he could. Stout, so maybe that's
I don't-
another thing too.
I don't
is
think a
like,
lot
hey,
of kickers are leaving early.
I mean, it's not early. This is his fourth. This is his fourth year. I mean, he's only got
You
one
never
more
know
year.
if the Jets have an early round. If the Jets have an early round third
This
pick,
is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
you know, they might take a gamble on him.
And you use that number
We've
one
done it
overall.
before.
Why not?
Yeah. Sorry, Trevor Lawrence. We're taking a kicker.
I like Jordan Stout's hair better anyway,
This
Trevor.
is true. So Pinniger is a true junior. Stout's a redshirt junior, and then we have Levi Forrest, who's a true freshman, who will be the future guy. Great name, Levi Forrest. Shout out to Baker in the chat. Thanks for that question. I don't think it's going to necessarily be because of Pinniger that we go for it more. But I think what I've seen too is Franklin starting to become a little bit more of a numbers guy too. In one of the press conferences, they asked him, they're like, hey, what's up with all the fair catches on kickoffs? And he said, we looked at the analytics and not many teams are getting it out past the 25 consistently. So it just doesn't make sense for us to keep doing that. I was like, oh, okay. I don't personally love that as just a fan because I like seeing big kick returns, but makes sense.
Mm-mm.
So when you look at, okay, percentage wise, 4th and 1 on plus territory, go for it. All right. I think that's all the
Analytics
questions
are
we have in
good.
the chat. What else you guys got for this
So-
game? Anything we missed or didn't talk about?
I don't think so. Just, we're gonna win by 1 million.
Yeah, we're gonna win by 1 million. Thank you to the couple people who are watching. I kind of like doing this on game day as a preview show. We've done them midweek. I kind of like it on game day. If you're watching this, if you're watching the replay, let us know what you prefer. Quick roundup of the Big Ten right now. You know what's sad? Real quick. I'm gonna save space. I'll get it out. When you go to like the Bleacher Report app or ESPN app, and you go to college football scores, it defaults.
We're
to
not in the top 25 anymore.
I
Yeah.
hate that. I have to go to Big Ten. Oh,
Yeah, thanks for the reminder, Chris. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
sorry, man. I had to. We'll edit that out. Look around the Big Ten. Indiana up 17-7 on Michigan. 5 minutes left in the half. Iowa
What a
kicking the
Big Ten.
absolute shit out of Michigan State. 27-0.
By the way, Indiana's about to score again.
Are they?
They're on the 1
yeah.
yard line.
There you go. Okay, so is Indiana good or is Michigan bad? What do you think?
I think
Indiana
Indiana's
is obviously
good.
good.
Yeah. Which
Indiana's good.
I don't want to admit, but I think they are. I don't know if they're good,
No,
but they're better than ever.
We really want to admit that because we lost to them. So we want them to be as good as possible.
Yeah,
But it was also a
kind of.
fluke, and we should have won.
It was also a fluke.
We
like-
should have won. Yeah. you're
Yeah.
right. But
And then
I don't know.
Nebraska is up on Northwestern 13-7 going
God
into the half.
Damn it.
So a lot of stuff happening. Shout out to our Big Ten touchdown survivor pool. There are 5 individuals left. We started with about 20, 24, 25. We got 5
I was out
left.
week 1.
Same.
A lot of people were. So I think what I'm going to do next year is
Thanks,
try to
Noah
get like
Kane.
a shit ton of people in and make it like double elimination. Maybe do that, keep people around a little bit longer. But we have 5 people left today. The picks are Muhammad Ibrahim, running back Minnesota. 2 people have him. 2 people have Master Teague, running back Ohio State, and 1 person is going with Devin Ford, running back from Penn State.
Interesting.
So
Let's go.
running backs across the board. The guy who has Devin Ford could potentially win it if Teague and Ibrahim both miss. But I have a feeling several of these guys are going to go on to week 4. Big Ten touchdown survivor pool. It's a thing. Wait for next year. We're gonna have like 200 people in this pool next year. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. Mike Robinson, one last one, said, "Thank you, gents. Big day for the true freshman wideouts. I think. Let's go." Yeah, I agree. So let's end it there. About 20, 25 minutes here. Adam, great having you, man. This is a ton of fun. We'll have to have you back on sometime.
Appreciate it.
Parting,
It was awesome.
Any parting words for the fans?
I'm good. I mean, here, I'm going to give you some horse racing real quick. Here's my picks.
Let's
Breeders'
do it.
Cup Classic, 513. You ready?
Ready.
Tiz the Law's going to win. He's a 3-1. Exacta box. Write this shit down. It's going to hit.
I'm right. I
Exacta
got
box. 2-4. Trifecta box 2-4-9. Superfecta 2-4-9-8. Take it to the bank, fellas. To the 5
Listen.
people watching, put 100 on it.
If you're watching, you just got a shit ton of money. Okay.
Where
Free
do I
money.
lay it down?
Done deal. Twin Spires. I'll send you an email. I get $10.
All right.
Love it. Pat, anything else for the fans?
All I want to see today is us keeping our foot on the gas pedal. I don't want to get conservative at any point. I don't want to
Exactly.
slow down. I don't want to start running the ball because we're up. I want to just throw, because we haven't seen anyone test this Maryland defense with passing. Like
Yeah,
everyone,
their pass defense is a little bit better than the run defense.
but that's only because they haven't been tested. I mean, Tanner Morgan completed like 10 of 12.
Yeah.
So maybe the only reason they're not giving up pass yards is because no one's even trying.
True. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go out. Let's get a big win. Good day for the color blue. It's not a political show, but a good day. This is going to be the turning point in the season. Yes, we started 0-2, but it's going to be a fun ride